What is going on, boxing fans and gamers? Welcome back to the channel. It's your guy, it's your boy, Fighting His Finest, coming at you guys with another Undisputed gameplay video. Now, you guys already know, over the course of this channel, Undisputed is about to drop early access on the 31st. So if you don't have your PC, do not ask in the comments if it's on console, because it is not on console. You need a PC, you need to be on Steam. Go ahead and sign up for early access. I think it's gonna be like 30 bucks or something on the 31st of January. But I wanted to talk about my experience playing the beta a little bit, what it was like over the course of the 3 days, and of course, who was my favorite character. It should be pretty obvious right now by who I am playing. I am currently on the right side. If you guys have been watching this channel forever, you know Fight Night Champion, you are damn near always on the left side, unless if you got hit with an illegal blow and it ended up on the right side, and even then the camera can still flip and you end up on the other side, or if you played with I think champion camera or something of that nature. Anyway, this ain't Fight Night Champion, this is Undisputed, and what I need you guys to do real quick before I continue on with the video, do me a favor, chat, like the video, and if you have any thoughts or comments, any at all, if you just want to say something, put it in the comment section. I respond to every comment, and of course we need the likes on the video in order for the channel to get more exposure. So if you want to support me, please like the video. That's all I ask. You know, we got 9,000 plus subscribers. We should be able to get quite a decent amount of likes. Anyway, YouTube law aside, promotion aside, let's talk about the 3 days of the beta and why Katie Taylor was my favorite character to use. First of all, the women's division in general, everything about it was great. Every character felt useful, especially on the first 2 days of the beta, and I'll get on to what happened in the third day of the beta with the stamina changes. But in terms of the women's division in general, everything felt super balanced. It felt like it would take the most skill expression, even though it was also probably the least played division by most people, just because, you know, I get people in the comment section all the time saying anytime I'm playing a women's match, whether it's on UFC or it's on, in this case, Undisputed, they just don't want to see the women's division. I don't know why, where that sexist shit comes from. We don't represent that over here. But in terms of just the speed, the power, the effectiveness, and like I said, skill expression, which means who can come up with the best strategic and tactical plans to execute in the middle of the game, women's division was definitely where it was at. And also, I feel the best designed character was definitely Katie Taylor, because she just felt everything with her was clear cut. The way her punches snap was great, her power was excellent, her speed was best. Of course, she was the best rated character in the women's division, I believe at an 89 overall. But everything from her, the way her punches came out, her movements felt extremely clean. And she was very strong in the first half of fights, and then started to fade later into the second half of fights, which I think represents her fairly well as a fighter in general. So she just felt very well designed. And even if you didn't play Katie Taylor, you can definitely win with Cameron or Jessica as well. Like, every character's jab felt amazing. Everything was, like I said, just extremely balanced, and just overall it was my favorite division to play in. Now, of course, I used Nigel Benn the most during the beta, and I'll do another video on him, of course, probably after this or tomorrow for you guys, so look out for that. But let's talk about the first 3 days of the beta, and the second beta first 3 days, and what it was like. The first day of the beta was pretty wild. It was just nice to get reacquainted with the game again after, you know, the first beta, and just kind of trying out all the different characters and just in general having fun with the stream. So I wasn't thinking too much about all the balances and gameplay stuff that maybe a lot of other content creators will be considering, because in general, guys, I don't really like giving my opinion on that stuff. The game is going to change constantly over the next coming months, so you're not going to see, at least from my channel, me dropping a video every single day talking about every single little change that's made, unless if it's balance related. So there's a patch note that comes out and talks about, for example, power shots and stamina and damage. That's gonna obviously affect the game, so I will probably talk about that and things that you need to consider. So the first day was really just purely fun for me, just streaming. I streamed like maybe 14 hours that day, or it might have even been more. It might have been 16, I don't remember. Streamed a whole bunch, just had a shit ton of fun. Then the second day of the beta, you know, they introduced, I believe it was bigger damage changes. So you started to feel even more effectiveness. There was no crazy lagging out or anything like that going on throughout the entire second day of the beta and the first day as well. Just beta number 2 that dropped overall, connection was great. So I had some of my toughest matches on day 2 of the beta, and it was actually my favorite patch. Now I know a lot of people complained about the power shots as well, and they felt like just power shots were too rampant. So on the 3rd day of the beta, the biggest change was stamina, and this is actually gameplay that you are seeing from day 3 of the beta. And I want to talk about how it affected the women's division, and particularly Cameron, and why this game play is actually going the way that it is going. Because power shots, especially like left hooks to the body, when you're playing Cameron, that shit drained like 3/4 of your stamina bar. So all I was doing to look all I was looking to do here in this particular matchup was just wait for opportunities where Cameron would get over aggressive, and I was actually playing someone who was watching my stream at the time. I'll wait for her to get extremely aggressive, wait for her to throw like a power hook or something downstairs to the body, watch it drain a shit ton of her stamina, and then get a knockdown. Now, for example, why did we get that knockdown there? My opponent was trying to finish me with the adrenaline boost that you get. It seems like you have unlimited stamina, the same way you would in fighting a champion. You get unlimited stamina to a certain point in the rock animation where it's clear maybe the character is going to survive, or your adrenaline boost wears off. And even here, I could have rushed to the other side of the ring, go free movement, rush to the other side of the ring, and knock her down again, just because her health bar and her stamina was so low. So normally I'll just wait for him to keep making that mistake, throwing like either a power hook or something downstairs to the body, wait for it to drain, and then I'll just knock my opponent down each and every time. So I felt like power shots especially were nerfed a bit too much. And then for players who just kind of like to, for example, Roy Jones Jesus, who could commit no sin, if I do say so myself. That's why I call him Roy Jones Jesus during that game. It was like no sin. It didn't matter. You're standing in the pearly gates before God, and he just let you in with all the highest angels. Gabriel, Moses, Father Abraham, come stand next to all of them and join the crew, because you belong on the Mount Rushmore of the untouchables. Like, I will say that with Roy Jones Jr., it really felt like you could commit no wrong. Now, obviously, if you played Roy Jones Jr., you weren't really looking to throw like a shit ton of power shots, but you can just throw 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 and not really get tired. But it was nice to see during beta day 3 how the stamina changes did affect the power shots even on him. So it was nice to see Roy getting tired, and they did do a good job of balancing that out. So that was a nice little change on day 3. But once again, we get another knockdown here, throwing some crazy little hook combinations. And I think even in this particular matchup, I started working a bit more with the directional punches. But overall, all 3 days of the beta was great. The game feels extremely fun to play, and I can't wait to see what balances and changes they're going to make for the game come early access. Because like I said, every day of the beta, the game felt different, and it felt like you can't play the game the same way that you did on day 1 as you could on day 3. Like, you really had to change based on like I said, the stamina changes and things of that nature. Like, even here, I'm trying to finish Cameron here, and I pretty much had no stamina. Wait for my stamina to regain a little bit more, and I end up pop 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 with the machine gun jab, 3 jabs in a row. So nice, I did it thrice, in the words of Arachnus. So we end up getting another knockdown. So like I said, this whole game, this whole match in general was extremely fun. And shout out to Second Finest, probably reacting and going wild in the audio. I can't hear anything right now because
I wish you would say that after.
So we're moving on to pretty much the last and final round here. I'm rushing to the other side of the ring, trying to get her up out of here. Cameron now trying to work the outside, trying to use that lateral movement. And one thing that probably isn't talked about enough is I didn't really use a lot of free movement during the beginning of fights and early on during the fights. Free movement is a double-edged sword. So until I started getting patterns and tendencies down, or I felt like I couldn't finish you, I really didn't see much purpose in using the free movement. Not to say that it wasn't purposeful. It definitely had its purposes, but I didn't really feel the much need to switch to it. As you can see here, once again, walking my opponent down. Cameron just trying to bounce on the outside, walking into the power hand at this point by circling to her left. then she shifts into the other side, and it was just nice seeing how you can use movement, lateral movement, and then reposition yourself in the ring in general. And you really felt like you had control of ring generalship, which is something in fighting a champion. Like, you don't always feel like you have that. An opponent can press you nonstop 24/7, and it doesn't feel like you can stop them if they are good at cutting the ring off, or you always have to step around and you always feel forced to fight. Here, it really feels like you can dictate the fight. And speaking of dictating the fight, the left hook is going to dictate the end of this fight. Left hook downstairs to the body, puts Cameron away. And like I said, in general, Katie Taylor, as you can see from the gameplay, felt amazing. Great power, great damage, great speed, great technique. Everything about her, just like I said, felt great. Women's division was definitely my favorite division to play in. And if you guys agree, go ahead and leave your thoughts in the comment section. If you disagree, also leave your thoughts in the comment section. Like the video, guys. Please like the video. Leave your thoughts. Even on my Twitter, you can follow me there. Twitch.tv/xhalcyon. I probably mostly stream on here though. So continue to look for Undisputed content from me, and I hope all you guys have a wonderful and fantastic day, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.